Hey, this is Chris with Destination Art, and today I am going to attempt to do an urban sketch, and I'm going to show you a little bit of what I've been doing. This is a little sketchbook that I got in a Palettefull Packs kit. I think it was the August kit, and I had done a pencil drawing. I think it was August. Might have been July. Anyway, but since then, I tried to do a painting off of this one. Actually, there's a video for that. And then since then, I have been using it as my study book as I watch different YouTube videos. So I was still trying to work on some of my pencil drawing techniques. And so I was trying to work on some shading and tried to do some fabric to see if I could get a little bit better at just doing basic shading, because the challenge is when you're a painter is sometimes you really need to know how to draw, and I am a much better painter than I am, there we go. I'm a much better painter than I am a sketcher. So anyway, so I've been looking, I've been doing all sorts of videos, how to draw a background. All right, so here is some of my urban sketching. So these I drew along with Peter Sheeler and just did some basic practice with him. This is also one of his videos, and then he used watercolor and I just used colored pencils for here. Anyway, and then I started trying to do it on my own, so with my imagination. So this was copying his video, copying his video, and then I tried to do it on my own, which is actually really great practice. So let's see, draw with Jazza, he did something. Anyway, so here's Infinity War from Wakanda. There was a pretty picture and I tried to draw it. Here's where I went to a park. All right, I've also been looking at landscapes and some stuff there. I'm getting to something, I swear. Oh, this was a Skillshare class from Yasmina Creates. She said you can draw anything, and look, I was able to draw stuff, some doodle stuff from her. So I'm on Skillshare, and I'm also doing lots of YouTube videos and just practicing. So here's a shade of Campbell Rose that I did. Then I went to my little town. I've done some buildings here before, but I went out in the car and I did some drawings. So as you see, this one is a little wonky, and it's because I was sitting kind of crooked in my car and I didn't quite have the perspective right, because it was kind of a 2-point perspective. Then I moved my car and I just tried a general building just straight on, which is what Peter Sheeler does, and I always love the results. Now, once again, it's still a little wonky in places, but I got better the more I did. So this building is next to, I think, this building, and then or maybe it's next to this one, sorry. Anyway, and so then I just kept on drawing, and I would do one building at a time, and I was trying to figure out just where the details were and how to get them in there. So I was pretty excited about that. Then I drove around the corner, and there's two little buildings that are next to each other that are really, really quaint. Anyway, and so I did that, and I was really excited because from all my practice, from not doing very well, same day, I had done something with a lot more skill. So just sitting there and doing that was very helpful. Then I've also looked at a lot of Alfonso Dunn videos on how to draw trees and shading, tree trunks. This is sort of an idea that I have on how to ensure that you have depth in your painting with the background, midground, and foreground. Also practicing some pen and ink techniques with shading. Alfonso Dunn is amazing. I totally love him. And then I got stuck into doodles by Sarah. She did some flowers. Then I also did potted plants, herbs with Shada Campbell, Halloween doodles. Look at that. He's so cute. I can't stand it. Anyway, I am actually trying to get to a painting here. And then perspective. This I thought was really helpful for urban sketching and how to create a grid. Then I went in and just got a picture of Paris and tried to do the Paris skyline. And for here, I was just trying to get, I didn't want all the details of the building, so I just have random shapes that I've sort of shaded like buildings. Anyway, all right, so this is what I have been up to lately as far as my urban sketching goes. And I'm very happy with my progress. So today I would like to attempt something like this with a little bit more simplicity. I think this was pretty involved. And I'm going to do that on a piece of, this is hot press cotton paper from, where is that? I just had it. Nope. Anyway, here's my paper. All right, so we are going to attempt an urban sketch. Okay. I did a quick pencil sketch where I tried to map out where all the building details are, so the shape of the building and all the details. And as I said, I tried to simplify the details this time from when I did just a pencil sketch. Since I was planning on painting this, I tried to make it a little bit less busy, I guess, but I did add the power lines and everything because Peter Sheeler does that, and I just love that. Anyway, he also roughs in the sky, so I'm trying to paint this differently than I normally paint because if you've ever watched any of my videos, which I recommend you go back and watch all of my videos because they're awesome. Anyway, paint has to be everywhere and it has to be thick and it has to be the same color. So with this, I'm trying to just do a loose painting style on top of this. So I put in just a loose sky, then also loose ground. Then I started going in with some muted colors. I didn't even look at the photograph to see what the actual colors of the buildings were because I'm just trying to practice. I admire artists on YouTube and I try really hard sometimes just to practice and see if I can develop my skills sort of with the styles that I like, because when you do that, you will develop your own style, and so that's what I'm trying to do. I do drawing with waffles sometimes, and it's pretty funny. I'm really not good at character design, but I still go ahead and do it because it's so much fun. Let's see. So I am also simplifying some things like the windows, and I'm trying a different sort of technique. I wanted to get some texture in there, but some darkness. So I just put in the color first, and then I went back with a damp brush and sort of spread the color around. But that didn't give enough variation, so I go back in just a second and swipe some diagonal lines in there. This is hot press paper, which I'm also not super familiar with yet. I think I've only painted on it 2 or 3 times so far. So, and if you watch my floral comparison between cold press 140-pound paper, cold press 300-pound paper, which is amazing, and then hot press 140-pound paper. Did I say 300 pound? Anyway, it's a couple videos ago. It was really good experiment on the different types of textures you can get and the way the paint behaves. And if you did watch that, then you know that the hot press paper, the paint sort of sits on top and it doesn't absorb the same way. And that wasn't a challenge too much for this one because I think with the urban sketch, you do have a tendency to paint a little bit flatter, if that makes sense. So yeah. Anyway, I drew that one in the picture. The space between the buildings is not that wide, and I drew it too big. So I'm just trying to sort of hide that. But since I had that dark color, I tried to just touch it at the horizon line in the back so that you would see it but not notice it, if that makes any sense. So with art and painting and stuff, there's things you want to notice and then there's things you don't want to notice. So some of the stuff, you just need to get it in there, and like if you notice, it's not very it's not a lot of information back there, but it just sort of grounds everything. If it wasn't there, it might be a little confusing. I'm also adding a little bit of color to the doors, even though the doors were sort of the same color as that was my cat. He jumped. That's why the camera's shaking. He jumped on the table. Yeah, and then so adding in some shadows and just some color to the little planters out front. Yep. Then I go in and add some more shading around the planters and around the window and under the roof line. And just, sorry for the shaking, my cat jumped off the table that time. I have this new setup where I'm trying to have my work, the painting is more diagonal, or not diagonal, perpendicular to my face rather than perpendicular to the table. And it's working out pretty good, except it's really shaky, I found, so I might have to change things around a little bit. Anyway, I hope you like this video. Please like and subscribe and have a great day. And if you want to go out and paint something, then just go ahead and do it. Practice is the thing that's going to make your skills better. Anyway, here's the final painting. Please like and subscribe. As I said, have a fabulous day.